Happy New Year! Hello. Thanks for downloading this bonus episode of Seldom Differ's Terrible Features podcast. Hope you all had nice Christmases and New Year's, as nice as you possibly could in these unprecedented circumstances that we find ourselves in. Anyway, enough about that. I'm sure you've heard enough about that. I'm not even going to mention that, because I'm sure you're all sick to death of that. But what is this? I'm going to talk about this, not that. This is a compilation of some of our sketches, character bits and songs from the last few episodes. This is the second compilation we've done, so there's another compilation which was episode 29. But anyway, it's just a bit of something. You've probably heard all this before, but it's nice to be reminded. You know, I went back and listened to that first compilation, and there was a song that Casino Paul had done about tea bags, something about what he does with his tea bags. I'd completely forgotten that existed. So hopefully you'll get something out of this, and you'll enjoy just being reminded of some of the fun times and great laughs you've had with us over the last few months. So thanks again, and all going well, we will be back late January, early February. Hope we'll see you then. Ooh, before I do play the episode, a few other bits. Our merch shop is still open, but it is closing down. So if you do want to buy any merch, we're doing a January sale. There's 25% off everything. Basically, if you go to the shop and buy something, that 25% discount is added at the checkout, if that makes sense. So the prices will still be sort of shown as the full prices, but then when you go to the checkout, that 25% is taken off. I don't know why that is. You know, in my dream world, it would say, was this price, now this price. Was £20, now £15. But I can't work out quite how to do that, so you'll have to just trust me that at the point of purchase, that 25% discount January sale will be removed. But as I say, the shop is closing. We're burning all the stock. We need to make some room in the studio here, and that's going to be around the 15th, I think, of January, something like that. So if you do want to buy some merch, please get in there before that, and we'd really appreciate it. You know, it's really lovely when we see a sale's been made, and we just love the idea of the merch being out there. Also, our Christmas song, Terrible Christmas, all proceeds of which go to Shelter. If you never got around to buying that or donating to the Shelter campaign and you still want to, we'll leave that also for sale until the 15th, and at that point we will donate all proceeds that we've made to Shelter. Did we get to Christmas number 1? Well, wouldn't you like to know? No, we didn't. We didn't get to Christmas number 1. Did we make it into the top 40? Well, no. Did we make it into the top 100? No, we didn't. Where did it come in the charts? Literally don't know. It was off the charts. That's how good it was. It was off the charts. We'll go with that. Hey, but maybe we can have a January, second week in January number 1, you know, with Terrible Christmas, if you all go out and buy it now. And of course, the main thing is all that money goes to Shelter. Right, I've been babbling for far too long. This was supposed to be a quick, swift and fast intro, and I feel like it's dragging. So let's get on with the episode, and hope you enjoyed this compilation. We're going to open with a song by Matt's cousin Kirsty about how her friend Sharon is in fact a bit of a snake.
I always see Sharon out the big Astor in Handworth. No control over her kids, usually at the counter, trying to cash in a kid's school dinner vouchers for 6. 'Cause Sharon's a snake, Sharon's a snake, and she keeps me awake, shouting at her kids. Sharon's a snake, Sharon's a snake, and she's got 2 faces, just ask my best friend Faye. My life's all about love, live, laugh. She can barely get her 7 kids in the bath. She's always getting pissed in Rotherham while she leaves her kids with their poor old nan. 'Cause Sharon's a snake, Sharon's a snake, and she keeps me awake, shouting at her kids. Sharon's a snake, Sharon's a snake, and she's got two faces. Just ask my best friend Faye. Like, I won't really mind, because we used to be mates and that. But, well, let me just say this, yeah. Money doesn't change people, it unmasks them. But that's the thing. She had one win on Irish lottery, and she's walking around the place like she's won national. Do you know what I mean? Buying new cars and all that. She can't afford it. She don't even work. Anyway, I'm sick of just negative people in my life, so don't bother me. Live, laugh, love. You know me, lads. Anyway, have a lovely, lovely show, and thanks for having me on. Kirsty's question. Sharon's a snake. See you later, lads. Sharon's a snake, and she keeps me awake, screaming at her kids. Sharon's a snake, Sharon's a snake, and she's got two faces. Just ask my best friend Faye. I've literally seen her use a pram as an ashtray.
Oh, and hello there, our British friends and listeners. I'm Maddie.
I'm Johnny.
And hey, I'm Rainy.
And today we're trying out another one of your crazy British cuisine. These are traditional pork scratchings.
Oh, pork scratchings.
Yes.
Pork scratchings, yeah. They're finest quality, hand-cooked, seasoned pork rind.
Huh.
So,
Nice. So they're scratchings off of pork. I guess pork is pig, so they've scraped a little bit of a pig.
I know, I think what happens here, and John, if you can back me up on this one,
Yeah.
when the pig scratches its itchy back or another part of its itchy self, they scratch it and these bits of pork come off. And that's
with
what-
its hoof. With its hoof.
With its hoof.
I think it's that, and I think the tradition is that it used to be pork battles, pig battles, and they'd scratch at each other and
Right.
take the chunks out. And these would usually be done on a sort of like a small bridge over boiling oil. So as they
Right.
attacked each other, and the chunks would fall in the water. So
Okay.
that's where you get that.
That
name
makes
from.
sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Is this medieval times, John?
Medieval. Maybe it could be medieval. I mean, these crazy public houses that they have
Yeah.
apparently serve these. So, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and open the bag.
Sure.
Here we go. And,
That
wow.
smell hits you straight away.
Let me smell that.
Gosh.
Oh,
Oh,
my
wow.
God.
That is... That
Oh, my
smells
God.
like old flesh, like dead.
Yeah.
That smells like death.
Well, it's all dead pig flesh from medieval times.
It is. It is. That is exactly what it is, Ryan. You're not wrong. These could be practically museum artifacts.
Are they fossils?
They look like fossils, Ryan. I'm just pulling one out now. Describe it, Ryan. What are you seeing here?
Well, what I'm seeing here and what's interesting is these things do not come from a mold, if you see what I mean. They all look a different shape and size, and I hate that.
Yeah.
That is not the processed kind of food I like.
You like Cheetos?
I
where
like
you
Cheetos.
You like Cheetos? We are all the same
like Monster
size.
Munch.
Monster Munch.
I like
Pringles.
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 I like
yeah.
each of my snacks to be the exact same shape and size.
Yeah,
Now,
like a
Ryan,
Twinkie.
Exactly.
Like a
I have-
Twinkie.
I have to ask you, how do you feel about Doritos?
Doritos? Huh.
Because they kind of are a bit different, but I could see the general shape. If you asked me what a shape a Dorito is, I'd say it's triangle.
Yeah, Doritos triangle. I think as long as the Dorito has 3 sides and 3 corners, I'm happy with the Dorito. I think I can stand a Dorito.
The Dorito still tries to keep that similar shape, whereas these pork scratchings appear to have their own personalities, their own idea of life.
Yeah, there's no attempt to keep consistency between the scratchings.
It's kind of bubbly on top. I'm not too excited about this. I'm a little scared, and I am a vegetarian, so I hope these are vegetarian friendly.
I'm sure
gonna
they
go
are.
right ahead, and I'm just gonna.
Oh, it's in there.
Holy fuck!
Oh dear.
It's got it's like a soft layer of fat with a very hard layer. A very hard layer on top.
Yeah, because I'm concerned to put it in my mouth.
It's turning to grease. It's running down my throat right now.
Yeah.
It's soft
And
yet
the
hard.
salt.
Soft yet hard, crunchy yet disgusting.
Give it a go, Ryan.
Okay, here it goes.
That one's way harder.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It tastes like the wartime. It tastes like wartime.
It tastes like wartime. Yeah.
Which war?
World War One.
Not a medieval war?
Maybe the Boer War.
Maybe the Boer War.
It could well be. And very salty. How do you feel about this, Johnny? You enjoying your scratching?
I mean, I feel my blood pressure raising with the salt content.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my heart is beating faster.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
it is the trotters of the pig I'm putting in my mouth.
Oh, maybe these are the hoofs.
The hoofs. I think they might be the hoofs of the hoof nails.
It's the hoof nails. We're eating hoof
Like
nails.
hoof nail clippings.
Well, it's possible that if you cooked a tooth for long enough, they'd get that kind of texture as well. So maybe it's pig's teeth in there too. You know, that's why they're different shapes.
Yeah, it could be a tooth. But going back to it being a hoof, because it could be a tooth, but I think it could be a hoof. Because if you imagine, maybe what he means by scratchings is it's the thing that the pug uses to scratch.
Of course, Ryanie.
Now it all makes sense.
Now it makes sense, but it still doesn't make it any nicer.
Oh, not at all.
Listen, I'm going to jump in there. Now, the frightening, soft, fatty glare was kind of spooky. And the hard layer on top was kind of nice, apart from the couple of hairs that I got. However, the salt, you know, I do like salt. It's one of my favorite flavors.
Yeah.
Kind of redeemed itself. So I'm going to hit it right bang in the middle and give this a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think the only thing I liked about it was the salt. Mm-hmm. I could lick it, dry of salt. But beyond that, I hated it. I hated the flavor. I hated the texture. I hated the shape of it. I hated the look of it. It's too random. It's not consistent enough
not conform.
for me. But I'm going to be a bit of a generous. It's the first one we've done in a while, and I'm going to give it 5.5 and a half.
Oh, 5.5. That's a very generous score, Ryan. Let's go to Johnny for his score.
I think it's a historical product.
Yeah.
It's got loads of character. The flavor and the texture were absolutely reveling. So I'm gonna give it my all-time low score of 2 out of 10.
Ooh,
2.
that is low coming from you, Jono.
2 for a hoof.
Okay, well, once again, our crazy British friends have sent us some crazy ass shit.
Yeah.
And I hope you enjoyed our review. So that's goodbye from me, Maddie.
Goodbye from me, Johnny.
And goodbye from me, Ryan.
A toodle pip.
Oh, I like that. Can I say that? Toodle pip.
Ta-ra.
Oh, I like that too. Ta-ra.
Choose one.
See ya.
Toodle pip. Oh, I like that too. See ya.
Fire in the booth. Mic check. Yeah, just got on WhatsApp. Checking the mic. Fucking hate it. Mugged off. Thought we'd all be on the same page, but I'm just getting mugged off. Sick of this. They need to fucking hear this. I'm getting mugged off in my WhatsApp group. They're meant to be my mates, just trying to keep everyone in the loop. But there's always a quip to make. Going to the pub, are you coming? You send a gift of Forrest Gump running. I need an answer, straight please. You better shape up like Danny from Greece. I like the banter, I'm not a monster. I'm just a geezer looking for an answer. Let's have it right, don't wanna fight. Just wanna know what my plans are tonight. I'm getting mugged off in my WhatsApp group. Getting mugged off. They're meant to be my mates, just trying to keep everyone in the loop. But there's always a quip to make.
Whatever I gotta do to be taken seriously. Everyone's all love, no quips, sad pictures of baby.
I'll ask a question, you'll miss it, then you'll send something explicit. My mate at work sent me this. Come on mate, are you taking a piss? Can't you see that this is racist? And now you're on my naughty list, because after all of this, my original question has been missed.
I'm getting mugged off in my WhatsApp group.
Mugged off?
They're meant to be my mates, just trying to keep everyone in the loop.
Trying to be helpful,
but there's always a quip to make.
Fuck this, I'm through. Waste of time messaging you. You're not political, just rude. You can't just reply with a picture of your food. And I'm not gonna bite, cause I'm not in the mood. Subjects are changed by something crude. I've dropped the mic and I'm leaving this group. Yeah, I'm leaving this group.
I'm getting mugged off in my WhatsApp group. They're meant to be my mates, just trying to keep everyone in the loop. But there's always a quip to make.
I see the boutiques. You dick, do you think I'm thick? Do you think I give a shit? Of course I do. I thought I was gonna get married to you, cause that dick pic was exquisite. But your mum needs to come in and clean up a bit. I'm not trying to be cruel, I just cannot believe that I didn't ghost you, yeah? But please text me back, I need the validation.
She needs the validation, baby. Meant to be my mates, just trying to keep everyone in the loop. Just trying to be helpful. But there's always a quip to make. Nah, thank you very much, Selfish Steve, for really getting your point across. If you want to text me, do it directly now. I will not be part of the group. Do it directly. If you are going to the pub, let me fucking know.
Welcome back to Yorkshire Sports. And weren't that a cracking game of ferret fighting? Fan favourite Freddie Ford faced 5 fearsome ferrets in a flawless fight to find ferret fighting's final finalist. Freddie were in fine form as he fought off the 5 ferret frenzy. His feet, face, fingers and forearms are fucked. But Freddie's in final. Fantastic fella. Now, on to our next sport, and it's final at hay bale humping, in which bales of hay are roiled up a big hill to a waiting hoss that must proceed to eat the hay. Simple, all done while supping a pint of course, but that goes without saying. Our first player is 67-year-old Leslie Buchanan, known by all as the Man Mountain, due to his trademark shock of pure white hair that curves round his boiled head, and is thought to resemble the clouds atop a mountain peak. At 67, he's one of youngest competitors, having only been taking part in sport for 43 years. Will that lack of experience show on the hill today? Next up, we have 85-year-old Charlie Braithwaite, or Wizard of Wetherby, so called because of his long white beard, tall pointy hat and silk gown, all adorned in gold and silver moons and stars, as well as his ability to cast magical spells. After a big win in 1954, he turned an entire lake into best bitter. A lot of fish died that day, but they died happy, full to brim with booze. And in 1963, he transformed his opponent into a frog. What a character. Well, looks like they're about to start. So I'll hand you over to commentators, Rodney Bingham and Trevor Stainrod.
Just really went off on a curve there. The wizard is literally a wizard. So good. Right. Hello and good afternoon, I'm Rodney Bingham. You join us from Wetherby and you guessed it, it's the hay bale humping. Now we've got a big challenge here for the competitors. It's two lads facing off against each other. They have to push these bales of hay from the pub at the very bottom of the hill all the way up to the pub at the top. Now the circular bales, obviously. Trevor Stainrod, my co-commentator today, hello. You can fill us in on how it works, can't you?
Hello, Rodney. Yeah, well, they start off necking a pint of best down at the bottom, then they get another pint while they push the bale up the hill. Then, once they've got to the top, they drink the pint and then encourage a horse in a paddock to start eating the hay.
Which is where we get the phrase, they can take an horse away, but they can't make it munch.
Make it munch.
This is serious stuff though, Trevor, isn't it?
Absolutely, more than serious, actually, Rodney. This is life for the people round here. The two young men we have vying for the win today will come from opposite sides of town. In this case, we've got Leslie Buchanan against Charlie Braithwaite. Buchanan from the north of Wetherby and Braithwaite from the south. And I can tell you, every year in the run-up to this competition, when hay fever hits, this town gets fiercely competitive. I've heard people say it should have a wall like Berlin to make a north-south divide for everyone's safety.
That's right, Trevor. We're not mucking about here. For these lads, this is the big one. There is no love lost here. Rumours come in this morning that when those lads went out onto track to size each other up, there wasn't even an A up or all right to be heard.
Nah, it's tragical stuff. It makes you shiver. But makes you shiver. But the stakes are high. The loser will spend the weekend in the local prison, as it is tradition, Rodney.
And as is tradition, that will mean he has a criminal record.
100%. The lads are on the start now, and they both look raring to go. And they're off, both straight into those pints and getting them down as if they were much smaller drinks.
Terrific stuff here. Now the tricky part, another pint, and then they start pushing the bale up the hill. But how? Well, Buchanan is quite literally putting his back into it, pushing away with his back to the bale, so he can easily hold his pint, but obviously not a bleeding clue where he's going.
Not at all. As you can see, Braithwaite is forward-facing, has put the pint between his teeth, and he's got both hands on the bale, and away he goes.
How can he hold a glass pint pot in his teeth for that long? I know they're not allowed mouth guards.
Well, Rodney, let me tell you, I spoke to his trainer, Roger Trundle, and this year Charlie Braithwaite's had his teeth pulled and replaced with a rubber set. The grip he's got in his gob is like a cloth hat stuck in a mangle.
I can see why I do it, to be fair. They're halfway up the hill now. Of course, the path does double back on itself, but Buchanan has timed it right and he's made the turn without even looking. Braithwaite looking a bit sharper though and edging ahead as they approach the top of the hill.
Oh, bit of a stumble there from Charlie Braithwaite. He needs to be careful. If he falls face first onto this pint pot, he'll be in a spot of bother, let me tell you.
I've seen it before. It looked like someone had burst a pig. It's been a costly error though, as Buchanan gets his bale in the paddock first. Now he's to neck that pint. He's got it down, and now for the horse.
Spot of bother here, possibly a bit too aggressive.
You know the phrase. The crowd's about to chant it. They can take a horse to hay, but they can't make it munch. Lovely.
And certainly the case for Buchanan. Meanwhile, Braithwaite is in, his pint's down, and now for the horse. Soft approach. Oh dear.
Oh, that's a powerful kick on that horse. Right in face. He'll be sore tomorrow if he lives.
Ah, yes, and the other horses jumped the paddock. No horses in sight. They'll have to call it a draw. This is worse than the Bruce upping when the kettle broke.
I don't know. Back to you, Fred.
Old legend with something to say. He's got a story to tell from back in the day. He's a old legend, his story's for you, and hopefully it's at least partially true.
Hi, I'm here with Ray Goodman. Hi, Ray. Tell me about yourself. Well, I was a river cleaner on the Thames, wasn't I? I'd go up and down the river, pulling the detritus out of the river, you know. Anything that might block the way for boats coming through. Nowadays, of course, it all gets pulled into a sort of filter system, hangs off the back of boats. But back then, of course, we had to chuck a spear or grapnel at whatever we wanted to pull out of water to try and pierce or grapple onto it. Right, and what is it you'd usually find? You know, usual stuff that ends up in a river. Tyres, big bits of wood, false Frenchmen. What's a... Shh. Oh, I shouldn't have had this whiskey. What's a false Frenchman? Is that a kind of fish? No, let me explain. Well, back in those days, if there were a boat flying French colours, flag on river, and it was to have a man overboard, it was the law that no one was allowed to offer any assistance. Now, often the French crew wouldn't notice the poor bloke in water, and he'd be left to drown or swim to shore, where he would, of course, be shot. Now, a false Frenchman is... where English criminals, often gangsters, who wanted to do away with someone would hire a boat, take it out with their unsuspecting victim on board, and then as they got to Midlet River, they'd quickly hoist up the French flag and kick him into the river. Then obviously he'd drown or be shot as a Frenchman. God, and then I guess you'd have to collect them. That must have been traumatic. Why? The French? Well, not the what? Legally, they were French. Amazing. And when were you working on the river? The 90s. Right. And was it generally a clean river back then? It varied, of course. If you were up near Richmond, first thing in the morning, you'd see this beautiful layer of crust on top of water. On a sunny day, you could see the fish trapped in that crust. We called them jellied nightmares. I remember one lad, he got it in his head to take one out and eat it. Gosh, and how did it taste? He didn't tell us, just collapsed into a coma. So it was quite a dangerous job then. Well, I mean, we had as life preservers on, which were inflated seal skins. It were a bit of a rite of passage, you know. You catch your own seal, humanely kill it, and use the hide as, you know, we'd use the other body parts for gloves, we'd use tendons for twine, you know. Right, so did you catch the seals in the Thames? I didn't realise there were any. No, we'd go to an aquarium. Yeah, we've got a long-standing feud with him. It was all in good fun, though, you know. Yeah, they were right next to the river, so we'd nick their seals, and to get us back, they'd drop the dead sharks in the river. Once, though, we did have a bit of a problem. Well, you know, my team were doing early shift, and we were plodding along upriver towards Chelsea. Now, I'm at Elm, and I get a message come through saying, aquarium breakout, octopus in river. Now, as I went out to go and tell lads to keep an eye out, this giant tentacle comes over the side of the boat and grabs Larry by his arm. We looked over the side and we see this horrible big octopus face just under water. Larry sees what's going on, and I'll never forget it. He goes to me, he goes, I'm not being eaten by a bloody squid. I'll effing show it who's getting it. And he jumps over the side and onto that octopus. And well, it must have got shock of its life because Larry starts biting chunks out of it. We're eating octopus sandwiches for a while after that, as you can imagine. Audible. And that's it, really. That's a simple life. Well, thank you so much. That's brilliant.
Someone needs to say something. Someone said something. I just need to hear. Any bad time someone had it right. Let's have it right.
Alright, Ryan, it's me, Casino Paul. Listen, I've just come back from church. Well, my church, you know what I mean? Dynamo boozer. Yeah, a couple of spins on the old fruit machine, cleaned it right out. Listen, mate, I got back to the house and I put the telly on. Fucking hell, I'm watching this show called fucking The Masked Singer or something. And fuck me. I mean, what a load of shit that is. They get a bunch of muggy cunts dressed as muggy cunts to come in front of a bunch of muggy cunts and sing, and then the fucking muggy cunts who are judging have to fucking guess who's behind the mask, whether it's a silly duck or a fucking tree or whatever it is, right? And they're all saying like, oh, it's Tom Cruise, or fucking hell, it's Angelina Jolie, and all this. And I thought, who the what kind of A-list celebrity is going to go on some shit show like that, yeah? Because they're guessing all this, and then they pull the fucking masks off, and it's like fucking Terry Sheringham, you know what I mean? Fucking, you're waiting all the fucking show for, you know, for them to get revealed, and when they do pull the hat off, you're like, well, I don't give a fuck about him or her, you know? Anyway, I think it's a load of bollocks, mate. But listen, I'll talk to you about it when I see you. All the best, mate. Love the family. Much love. Bye-bye.
The Secret Diary of Stephen Frayne, but most people call me Dynamo, aged 33 and 3/4. Dear Diary, what a mad day. So this morning, me and my man went to car boot sale to try and find some mega bargains. You know, like right cheap stuff. I'm trying to collect every single Guinness Book of World Records ever made. I've nearly completed 90s. I only need 1992 and 1997. They're full of like right mad stuff. Like there's this bloke in Rome who's got a big nose, biggest nose in the world in fact. It's right big. Stuff like that. Anyway, my man were feeling a bit tired, so she made me push around car boot in my nan's old wheelchair. I don't mind pushing around normally, just on pavement like, 'cause it's quite smooth and that, but car boots in a field and it had been raining, so it were right sludgy. So it were a bit of a pain, but it's got to be done, 'cause my mum gets tired and, like she says, why should she have to effing walk after she went through all that trouble to push me out of her effing fanny and bring me effing up? If she can't enjoy me pushing her about, what can she effing enjoy? Which is fair enough, really. Anyway, we were going round car boot and she made me stop at this big meat stall. And she goes, nah then, knobhead, make yourself useful and go and show that bloke one of your shitty little tricks. She's right supportive of me magic, and she likes other people to see it and that. She ran about bloke who ran stall like, so I said, alright. And I went over and showed him my floating sausage effects. He thought it were right cool. He goes, how did you do that? Is it on a string? And I goes, no, it's not on a string, it's magic. Even though it were on a string, really. That's called patter in the magic circle. Anyway, I started pushing my mum away from stall, and next thing I know, bloke shouting, oi, come back. I thought he must have wanted to see more magic. Then my mum goes, run! So I turned round and started to run back towards stall, so I could show him more tricks, you know, more quicker like. And my mum goes, for F's sake, and she jumps out of her chair and starts running away from stall. She must have needed a wee ride bed or something. But at this point, man from stall's coming up to me, looking right angry, and I thought, oh, I know, he wants to know how my tricks are done. So I said, mister, a magician never reveals his tricks. But then he whipped cushion off wheelchair, and underneath were like loads of steaks, which were right weird. He goes, what do you have to say about that then? You're going to pay for them? My man must have forgot to pay for them, or something, probably because she needed a wee that bad. All I had on me were £2 and 2p from my trick where I turned 2p into £2. So I offered him that, but bloke just took back all the steaks and said, just F off, which were quite rude really, weren't it? Anyway, I found my mum, and she had this carrier bag full of even more steaks, and she were like selling them to people in car park, so she must have got a job working for that man or something, probably to make up for a mistake earlier. Mistake, lol. So that were alright, weren't it? Then I went to Buckingham Palace and did some magic for Prince Charles. His ears are right big. They should be in Guinness Book of World Records. And that were me day. Stephen Frayne, but most people call me Dynamo. Signing off.
Hey there to our British friends. I'm Maddie.
I'm Johnny.
And hey, I'm Rainy.
And today we, of course, are reviewing some of your crazy English food.
Sure, of course, as always.
Now, I was a little dumbfounded when I saw what we were trying today.
Yeah.
And I have a problem getting me tongue around it. Not the food, but the way it's said.
Sure.
So, ladies and gentlemen, today we're trying scotch eggs.
A scooch egg.
A scotch egg. Is that, John, how is it pronounced?
I think it's a scooch. A scoochig.
Scoochig. Oh, maybe it's an egg. I got the packet here, and it actually says egg, but I look at the thing in my hand, and it's unlike any egg I've ever seen. I wonder what kind of bird gave birth to this egg. It's brown, it's crumbly.
If it is an egg, I don't think a bird's laid it, Ryan. I think
it's a reptile.
Yeah, actually, I was going to say bear, but now you say it, it looks like a reptile egg.
Oh, it could be a bear's egg, though. You're right, but maybe reptile. Maybe a crocodile.
Well, I think we best, suppose we should really give it a try here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut into mine right now.
Bottoms up.
It smells kind of.
It smells meaty, right?
Yeah.
Kind of smells meaty. This can't really smell it. It doesn't smell too eggy yet.
Oh, I've just cut into mine. And,
oh my God. It's disgusting.
That is like cold meat,
Ugh.
cold dead flesh. And what is this in the middle? Is this the egg?
I think I just ate the packaging by mistake. I think this crumbly, meaty stuff is just the packaging for the egg inside.
And you just meant to eat the egg?
I guess so, because this tastes absolutely disgusting. It's a cold, almost, I don't know, like a sort of, what's the texture of this? I don't even know what this is.
I've penetrated the egg, and it's cold all the way through. This is not a hot egg.
So this is the egg in the middle. An ice-cold, tiny little egg.
what I think we're dealing with here is, unfortunately, some kind of either intensely bred chicken to deliver these particular kind of bizarre eggs.
Wow, cruelty.
Or what we're talking about here is, I think that meat is potentially it's from a pig, and we're dealing with some sort of genetic splicing here.
Like a pig egg.
Maybe it's a pig egg.
Maybe a pig was breeded with a chicken, and then this is what came out. This kind of meaty, bready, eggy, horrible horror show.
It's got that kind of had exterior, but once you threw that, a whole egg. And my worry is, what animal is this from? Like you said, is it a pig? Is it a crocodile?
Okay, so I got through the meat exterior, which I think is potentially just packaging, but I have actually swallowed some, so I'm kind of worried about that.
Move on.
But I now
Don't worry
have
about that.
Also, the white egg, it's almost like an eyeball or something. It's cold in my hand. The texture is disgusting. I'm going to try to put it in my mouth, but I can't promise I will keep it in there.
Are you going to put the whole thing in there, Ryan, or just a bite?
I think just a bite. A bite.
Well, bottoms up.
Ugh. Oh, God. Oh, my God. That is... Now I'm thinking that this is some kind of packaging.
Is it all just packaging, Ryan? Is it?
I don't know if this is food.
The scooch egg? We missed the scooch egg?
It's almost like... This is almost like the stuff they put in, like polystyrene or something, to keep things safe when they're in transit.
Maybe you should bite deeper in the egg, because maybe it's like one of them Russian dolls where it just keeps on going and there's another scooch egg in the egg itself.
I'm concerned that the scooch egg is not food. That's what I'm concerned about.
It could actually be some kind of ornament, like, Fabergé eggs?
Uh-huh.
Maybe it's something along those lines,
Oh, yeah. They have, like we said, they have scooch tape. Maybe, maybe this is another kind of maybe it's an eraser or something like that. Maybe it's not to be eaten.
I don't know. Maybe this is a gobstopper. One of those with the layers. It's kind of like a meaty gobstopper.
But it wouldn't stop your gob for too long, though, Johnny.
No, that's true.
Because it's very soft.
But,
okay,
those English have got such terrible teeth. Maybe that's why.
All gums.
All gums.
They're all gums.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to give my review a little spooked by whether it's food or not. A little concerned that I don't know what animal's acid came out of. And two different types of flavors so suddenly cram-packed next to each other. So out of fear, I have to give this scooch egg a 3 out of 10.
Well, I want to wash my mouth out with soap and water. Mm-hmm. I want to go back in time to a time before I ever witnessed this scooch egg in my life. But I'm also going to be a little bit more generous, as it's the first one in a while we've done, and give it 3.5.
Well, that's very generous, Rainey. And Johnny, how are you feeling about the scooch egg?
Well, you know me, I like meat.
Huh.
I like eggs.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
What does that got to do with this?
I like breadcrumbs. I like ornaments, My house is full of knickknacks.
Now I see.
And doodads.
Now I understand.
And I feel like I could just pop one of these on my shelf, have it as a talking piece, put it on the mantle, and then at one point I'd just bite into it.
Well, if you leave it to hatch, it could become a talking piece. It might talk itself.
Maybe a little scooch will grow out of it, whatever that is, some kind of lizard or something.
Yeah. Okay, well.
So I'm going to give it 4.5.
That's
nice, generous.
Higher than us. I mean, fair play. I'm glad you enjoyed the experience, Johnny.
Yeah.
Well, that was our review of the scooch egg. That's goodbye from me, Maddie.
Goodbye from me, Johnny.
And goodbye from me, Rainey.
Ta-ra.
Tarar.
Total pip.
Oh, nice.
Nah. It's been too fucking long since I've had a shag. And it's about time everybody heard about it. I haven't had a fucking fuck for as long as I can remember. I haven't had a fucking fuck since last fucking December. People in relationships don't have a fucking clue. Being single during COVID just won't fucking do. So this Halloween, I'm gonna fuck a ghost. I don't care how old or how fucking gross. I'll fuck a Roman Victorian too. Patrick Swayze, don't be lazy, cause I wouldn't mind fucking you. Yeah, he's a sexy ghost. I'd admire a vampire or a ghost with the most. I carve a pumpkin, my dick sunken candle didn't come close. I grab a werewolf by his neck and ride it consensually, cause I'm sensual me. I'll take my time, play some grime, and in 21 seconds I'll be complete. I'm not looking for looks or intelligence, Albert Einstein. I'm looking to bust two nuts on your necks with no elegance. Call me Frankenstein. These bitches are better than those bitches, which is better for me and my Halloween. And don't tell the snitches get stitches. And I want all of these witches riches to myself. I'm just busting for a nutmeg pumpkin latte, and it's affecting my health. I'm gonna fuck a ghost, I don't care how old or how fucking gross. I'll fuck a Roman, a Victorian too. Patrick Swayze, don't be lazy, cause I wouldn't mind fucking you. He's a gorgeous ghost. Fuck it. I'll fuck a goblin, a ghoul. This monster movie's 5-star. You can call me Leatherface, cause this'll be your massacre. Yeah. Lock up your haunters. I'm gonna fuck some monsters then. That's how desperate I am. Wow. Where's Dracula at? Bit of Medusa. Happy Halloween. Mwah.
Welcome back to Yorkshire Sports. We're at a cracking game of Whack the Wazzock, where we watched Weird Willie West, the wiliest Wazzock in Whitby, wander, walk and weave away from the whacks. Well, Willie's witless and has no way with words, but that won't worry Willie, because Willie could worm away from unwelcome whacks whether wet, windy or whatever weather. When wise Winston Wilson from Warrington went wild with his whacking and walloping, he were worn out by witless Willie the Wazzock and went walking back west to Warrington without one whack on Willie. Willie's won this one well. Now, on to the next sport, and it's semi-final at pipe packing, in which professional pipe packers pack pipes at pace. Now, I'd like to take this opportunity to pay tribute to former champion Linda the Chimney Longley, who is sadly no longer with us. Less said about what happened to her the better, but I'll say now once and for all, to all those vegetarian troublemakers, there's absolutely no evidence that smoking 40 pipes a day is connected to a collapsed lung. I smoke a pipe of plenty myself, and it's never done me any harm. Excuse me. Our first player is 53-year-old Joseph Napier, a local lad from coastal factory town Staithes. In fact, as well as being a pro pipe backer, Joseph works a proper honest job in Staithes Pie Factory. The factory itself can be seen from miles around due to the thick plumes of black smoke rising from its many chimneys, which were built to allow Joseph to continue his world record of longest unbroken pipe smoking session. The factory becomes so thick with pipe smoke that we could see out, so you can understand the chimneys. Joseph's been smoking that pipe for 9 years straight, day and night, with his wife even holding pipe in place as he sleeps. Only breaking to take part in pipe packing competitions such as this one. Some vegetarians say the thick, black, stinking pipe smoke is a blight on landscape. I think it's rather beautiful. Next up, we have 47-year-old Sarah Campbell, all the way from Belfast, Northern Ireland. And it's great to see pipe packing spreading out of Yorkshire and into the wider world. Now, this bonny lass is open to following footsteps of dead former champion Linda the Chimney Longley, in the sense that she's also a bonny lass, not in the sense that she wants to be dead from a collapsed lung. As far as I know, she don't. Or maybe she does. Women are a mystery, aren't they? Men are from Maltby, women are from Wakefield, if that knows what I mean. Well, looks like we're about to start now, so I'll hand you over to commentators, Rodney Bingham and Trevor Stainrod.
Thank you, Fred. Good evening. I'm Rodney Bingham, and I am, of course, as always, joined by Trevor Stainrod. Good evening, Trevor.
Good evening, and what a pleasure it is to be here at the Fox and Rabbit pub in Pickering.
Beautiful part of the world. I've just been up the road to Hall of Holcombe, which is a beautiful valley, even though it sounds like something from Victorian pornography. Any road. Trevor, what are we here for today?
Well, Rodney, today we've got an interesting one. It's the pipes. Now, I'm not talking about some that a Scotch fella carries under his arm and makes a sound like a cat in a lake. No, I'm talking about smoking pipes. Clay, boon, corncob, resin. They're just wood. If you can put tobacco in it and light it, then that's the kind of pipe I mean.
That's right, and today we've got Joseph Napier of Staithes, just up the road, facing off against young Sarah Campbell of Belfast. Bit of a trek for her, Trev.
Yes, but she is the reigning champ, and if she wants to hold on to the title, she's got to come and defend it against these contenders.
Aye, true. Now then, let's outline exactly what the competition entails. So, 2 identical pipes, and our competitors will be given a full ounce each of best Winston tobacco and as many matches as they need. Then they'll have 30 seconds to pack that pipe as they like it. Then we'll move on to lighting the buggers. What we're looking for here is tobacco heat and thickness of smoke plume.
Absolutely. Some people think that smoke density comes from lung capacity, bigger lungs, thicker smoke. But as we know from the former champion, Linda the Chimney Longley, you can get a real pea super of a smoke cloud even with only half a working lung rod.
And she'd still be the champ today if she hadn't had that lung blowout during the 78 final.
I've heard that the landlord of that pub was still picking tar and gristle out the rafters for weeks after that final, Rod.
So here they are, both in fine fettle, ready to get into this challenge. They're all steely concentration and yellow fingertips. They're under starters' orders now.
Campbell is straight in there. She's pulling out big pinches of baccy and shoving it in like an overkeen taxidermist apprentice. Napier taking a lot of time to get going here. He's teasing that baccy into a shape before he gets it into the pipe.
Oh, it's like a little bird's nest he's making. It absolutely gorgeous work. Yeah, now they're both at it, getting as much in as they can, and
that's it. They've put them down, and the safety judge is over inspecting the pipes, making sure all the tobacco sits inside the chamber. He seems happy, so let's move on to the lighting.
So we've got Napier first. The pipe is in his mouth. Here comes the match, and he's going for 3 puffs and a long drag. And that's where we're looking for the heat.
And to the viewers at home, the way they test for heat is our safety judge will place a piece of lead about 2 inches long and the width of a pencil into the pipe chamber. And as Napier pulls, like he's doing now, the lead will melt from the bottom, and the length successfully melted will be his heat score.
Hey, for all that artsy stuff you're doing with that baccy, he's not soft when it comes to taking a drag. Now he's taken the pipe out of his gob. Here comes the plume. Oh my goodness, look at that. Big, thick and heavy. The sort of smoke you'd get if you were chucked a sopping wet sheep on a bonfire.
Yes, it's gorgeous work, and his red eyes and hacking coughs speak of a job well done here, Rod. Campbell now, pipes in and licked. In goes the safety judge, puts in the lead. Oh, lovely drop on it. And she takes a pull. She must have melted an inch of it. Such a fierce heat. So I think she's got him on the lead length.
Yep.
Let's have a look at the plume.
Yeah, she's taking her time. Taking a bit more in. Look at the strain on her eyes. It's like she's somehow squeezing down on the smoke in her lung. Here it comes.
Oh my God. My God, I've never seen out like that before. Sarah Campbell has just exhaled a perfectly spherical ball of black smoke. About the size of a large orange.
Large orange, yeah. And the crowd is going absolutely wild here. Perhaps she's managing to use those fumes from the molten lead for the smoke colour. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Needless to say, the judge is holding up her arm. She's the clear winner.
Yes, and she's clinching her arm as well as it happens. She looks over the moon, though. Napier applauds her. Campbell smiling away. Her teeth now the colour of coil. Her teeth now the colour of a coil pit. But it's all worth it, Rod.
Absolutely wonderful, wonderful stuff. And that's back to you, Fred.
The Secret Diary of Stephen Frayne, but most people call me Dynamo, age 33 and 3/4. Today it was the spookiest, creepiest, scariest and spookiest day of the year, Halloween. I get a bit scared at Halloween because if you think about it, there's all these people going round and they're like dressed up like ghosts and vampires and demons and all that, and it's like, yeah, they might just be people dressed up and that, but wouldn't it actually be the perfect time for real ghosts and real vampires and real demons to come out? How do we know who's real and who's not? You know what I mean? For one thing I do quite like though, is decorating the house to look all spooky, because that's quite safe and I don't have to worry about all the baddies getting me. Only trouble is, my mum says buying decorations is a waste of money, which is fair enough, but all I wanted since I was little were my own pumpkin, but my mum says it tastes like shit, which means poo, and stinks the house out. So I said, well, I'll put it outside then. And she said, that's even worse. We don't want to encourage the little bastards to bang on the door begging for food and money. We're not an effing charity, effing little scroungers. But she must have been in a good mood, because she said instead of a pumpkin, I could use my old basketball, because it looks same. I suppose it does a bit. It's orange and it's got lines on it. I didn't carve a face on it though, even though my mum gave me a knife to do it. I'd learnt my lesson from when she told me she did my birthday present inside my favourite football. That very good joke she played on me. So I just drew a face on my basketball with a biro and put it back in its shed, because my mum won't let me leave it in the house. Halloween night came, and my mum said, "Right, make yourself useful for once. Put this on and get trick-or-treating." She gave me a big bag of old bits of tinfoil she'd been saving, which were right nice of her, but I didn't know what she meant. "What do you mean?" I said. She said, "Put this foil round you and you can be a robot." "Oh, right," I said. It all looked a bit horrible though, because of all food residue and that. So I said, "Can I use clean foil instead?" And she goes, "You think I'm made of money? Anyway, that'll stick to you better than fresh stuff." And she were right about that, to be fair. Luckily, she'd had a lot of sticky barbecue ribs. They're right sticky, so foil stuck to me no problem. She's right clever, my mum. I do find trick-or-treating a bit scary, but it has to be done so I can, earn my keep, as my mum says. I used to like it when I was little. Me and my friend Chris used to go together every year. Until one year, I noticed he was saying trick-or-treat right weirdly. He goes, "Trickle-treat." So I goes, "Did you say trickle-treat? It's trick-or-treat, innit?" And he goes, "No, it's trickle-treat." I goes, "I'm sure it's trick-or-treat, as in they give you a treat or you do a magic trick for them." He goes, "It's trickle-treat." I goes, "But that don't make no sense, Chris. What does trickle-treat mean?" "It means the treats trickle in bit by bit as you go door to door." And I thought, oh yeah, it could be that actually. But then I said to my other mate, David, "Excuse me, David, is it trick-or-treat or trickle-treat? Because Chris Angel thinks it's trickle-treat." And then David and all the other kids laughed at Chris Angel, and he ran off crying and never spoke to me again. I felt right bad. So I learnt that day that if you think something's not right that someone said, just agree with it anyway, because otherwise they might not be your friend anymore. These days, my mum comes with me trick-or-treating to make sure I don't pinch any at treats for myself, which is fair enough. This year, she gaffer-taped a mop to the side of her wheelchair and said she were a witch. She looked right scary. So we went door to door, saying trick-or-treat and all that. I were hoping to get a trick so I could do my new floating Snickers effect, but no one said trick this year. What people did say was, as usual, "Aren't you a bit old for this?" But my mum just shouts, "He's big for his age," and told me to cover up my face with more tinfoil, which I was trying to do, but it smelled like goose fat, so I had to keep taking it off to be sick. The way we work it out is, me and my mum split the treats. My mum gets all money and sealed sweets, and I get to keep any loose sweets or fruit, which is a good deal, I think. So we decided to trick-or-treat at my granddad's house, because my mum said, "That soppy old git's usually a good little earner." She hid behind bush though, because she said my granddad's scared of witches and might not give me as much money if he sees one. So I rang bell, and guess who answered door? Not my granddad at all, but my dad. That were really spooky. It would have been even spookier a few months ago, because I thought he were dead. But then he turned up at my talent show, and my mum said, "Oh yeah, I forgot. He's not dead. He's just been in prison because he's a very evil man," and told me I should stay away from him. So when I saw him, I said, "Sorry, I can't, I've got to..." And then I turned to leave, but he said, "Wait, Stephen, just wait 1 minute. I just need to explain something." So I said, "All right, just be quick though, because I shouldn't be..." So he said, "I didn't rob those houses, you know. I'd never do that. It was your mum that robbed them. I took blame because I loved her. I thought she loved me too, but when I got out she didn't want to know, and now she won't let me see you. It's torture, Stevie." "His name is Stephen Frayne," my mum screamed as she screeched round the corner. "But most people call me Dynamo," I said. Then my mum said to me dad, "And your name should be Liar. You get away from him, Stephen. He'll nick all our treats if we're not careful. He's known for it, the effing thief. Come on, Stephen." So off we went. But just as we were at end of path, my dad goes, "Stephen, do you want this?" And he was holding the most amazing pumpkin I've ever seen, carved with a face on it, and there were a candle inside and everything. I quickly took it off him, and I loved it. My first real pumpkin. My man made me bin it when we got home, but for half an hour I had a real pumpkin. So that were right good, weren't it? Then I went to Jonathan Ross's Halloween party to do my magic for all them lot. Eamon and Holmes were dressed as Honey Monster. It were alright, and that were me day. Stephen Frayne, but most people call me Dynamo. Signing off. Happy Halloween.
I'm once again here with Ray Goodman, who's going to tell us about another chapter in his life, one of his many careers. Ray, what have you got for us?
Well, I was a prison warden for many years, you know. Spent a lot of time working in what you might nowadays, you might call it maximum security prison.
Right, and what were your duties, man?
I was mostly in charge at bees.
Oh, the prison kept beehives.
Oh, goodness, no, not insects. Some of the prisoners, they used to produce golden syrup as a way to make money for prison, and that's where they got the nickname the bees. You see, what they'd do is they'd take the sugar cane, process that in these giant vats and add some water till it was a sticky kind of syrup. Then the bees would tread on it, you know, a bit like they used to with grapes to make wine. But it were more wading through the syrup. And of course, the effort would cause the lads to sweat, and the sweat and the dirt to drip down and mingle into the syrup, which gives it that lovely golden hue.
That sounds interesting. Did you ever taste it?
You know, bollocks, you can get normal stuff in Sainsbury's.
Ray, it's nearly Christmas. Did you ever do anything at Christmas for the prisoners? Any games?
Well, you know, you'd have 2 prisoners to a cell, and at Christmas we'd get the inmates out into the yard and give them a ton of bricks between 2 cellmates, and they'd have 4 hours to design a new cell. And then us wardens would judge them, and best design will be used for any new cell to be built up prison, you know. It gave lads something to do. But there was a problem that the lads would often just build a big set of stairs and climb over the prison wall and escape. I remember one year a long-termer called Jenkins. Killer he was. Terrible. I says to him in his bunk, mate, I says, Jenkins, that's a very tall cell you're making there. It's very close to the prison wall. And he says, yes, sir, I'm designing a new kind of very tall cell, sir, for bird watching. Well, I thought nothing of it, did I? And yes, he did escape over the wall and go on a bit of a spree, but he handed himself back in at end of the day because he was a gentleman. So he gave him a stern talking to and told him, wash the blood off your hands, hurry to the canteen, see if there's any leftover Christmas bud.
When you say spree, what had he done?
We had a don't ask, don't tell policy, and it was Christmas. We gave him some leeway.
And were there a lot of the prisoners in for long stretches?
Well, we had some, but of course you could have your sentence reduced.
Is that for good behaviour?
No, it's for fighting the way through the gauntlet. Back in the old days, it was sort of an obstacle course where flying axes, boiling oil, flames, wild tigers, that sort of thing. They'd get to end and the governor in his throne would raise or lower his hand to show if the bravery had been enough to set the prisoner free. But due to cutbacks, it ended up being a walk on a 2x4 suspended 6 feet over a pit of broken bicycles. Well, bicycle. Some lads were doing a course in mountain bike repair, so, you know, traditions, they carry on, don't they? I mean, bonfire night, we had a tradition where what we'd do is we'd get a whole pig, you know, so you get on a spit for hog roast. Well, what we'd do is we'd open the cell doors and the inmates would stand at the doors, and we'd stand at the end of the long corridor. We all, you know, the cells off to the left and right, and we'd get this pig, we'd shove fireworks up its arse, pop it on some roller skates, and we'd fire it down corridor. And the inmates were there will try to bite a chunk out as it zoomed past. We called it a pokey rocket. Well, we had to stop it. After 1 year, the pig fell off the skates and the rocket's gone boom, and one poor lad got a face full of molten crackling. Face like a melted toppy apple after that.
And what do you think of modern prisons?
Well, it's too soft, innit? I see him with TVs playing the gaming consoles. That's a reward for good behaviour. What would it have been when you were doing it? Would it be like extra tobacco or something? No, the lads never smoked. They were too scared of fires breaking out. The prison was very old and the walls were wood lined with horsehair and old rags. When I were a warden, if you were good, you got a wheel of cheese. And you used it how you would. It were always cheddar. You eat it, you trade it, you have it as your wife. That's all the lads wanted. And if a fire was to break out, you could have a fondue after. As the saying went, you smell smoke or see fire, get your croutons. And which prison was this? Is it still open? What was it called? Well, it was just called The Hole, or just Hole. It closed down because of budget cuts and it turned into a little town. Oh, what happened to the criminals? They stayed there, town full of criminals and ne'er-do-wells. But over the years, it's grown. The name's changed from The Hole to something a bit more palatable. What's it now? They call it Hull. Ray, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to talk to you once again.
Thank you very much, crazy British bastards. Welcome back to Americans Review with me, Maddie.
I'm Johnny.
And hey, I'm Rainy.
The guys have sent us some crumpets.
Crumpets?
Yeah, they're crumpets. It's like pets made from crumb. It's a cute name. It's
like a crumpet.
Oh, it's like made of crumbs.
I like a little pet made of crumbs. I like that. Like a little.
Yeah.
Right. This is from Warburton. So war is some kind of wartime food.
I guess it's wartime. It looks like wartime food.
Warburdens. So it must be like some kind of war that happened in Burton, which is in the United Kingdom.
I guess it's in the UK.
It must be. Is that what it is, John? Is that what Warburdens?
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah,
Is that a
be
wall?
the war that took place in Burton.
I think Burton's maybe a store, like a clothing store. Maybe the war happened there. I don't know.
Oh, like a war in a clothing store.
I guess so,
I see that over like clothes and stuff. I guess.
But like old time clothes. I don't know.
Oh, like wartime. Yeah. Tin hats and
green clothes.
And green clothes.
That kind of
green
thing.
jackets and stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm just going to go ahead now because we're running out of time. And I'm just going to open this packet here. All right.
Huh.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
My goodness.
Wow.
Okay.
It's weird.
Johnny, what do you think of the...
It's so weird.
That's kind of like a sponge. You know, like the natural sponge you can get in these real cool stores?
That's like coral reef.
Like a coral sponge. It's kind of like that.
But I mean, feel
floppy
that
and-
consistency.
That consistency is pretty... It's not had. It's
soft and cold.
It's the opposite.
Yeah.
It's soft and cold. It's...
For people who can't see this, it's knobbly. It's got holes. I'd say it's like Swiss cheese made of slippers.
Well,
That's right. Like the material on a sole of a slipper.
It's kind of giving me the heebie-jeebies
The
looking at it.
heebie-jeebies is a good way of putting it.
Okay, I'm going to tear it here. It's kind of, that's giving me more heebie-jeebies because it's more kind of fibrous on the inside and the holes on the top, and that's making me feel ill. It looks like some kind of skin condition, John.
It sort of looks like, I expect, the intestines of some kind of like starfish or something like that. You know what I mean? Kind of like a filter feeder. I can imagine seeing that at the bottom of a rock pool.
Yeah.
Or maybe like a slice of brain on a plate.
A slice of brain, I like that. If the brain was perfectly spherical and you slice it up into bits, it would come out like this. Now I'm going to try some of this. Here we go. Let's just try.
It's salty.
Oh my goodness.
It's like I've never tasted brain.
No.
But if I had to say what the texture would be like,
I tell you what it's like. It's like had salty bubble bath. Imagine a had bubble bath.
if you were to take a bubble bath and freeze it in time.
Yeah, in a wartime. Imagine a bubble bath frozen in wartime. So someone in the war had a bubble bath. They froze it.
Yeah.
They added salt.
You potentially got a crumpet. That's actually not too bad.
It's salty. It's kind of nice. It's dry. Is what I was
It's cold.
saying.
It's very dry.
It's almost like it's almost fizzy. The bubbliness is almost fizzy.
It's like frozen in time bubbles.
Yeah, if food could be fizzy, it's what this is.
It's fizzy food.
It's fizzy food.
It's fizzy food.
Yeah.
Now,
that's what it is.
I don't understand when you'd eat this. Like, when is a good time to actually eat? I don't know. You crazy British people.
You
They
just put it in your pocket. I guess they put it in their suit, in their bowler hat,
in their suit and bowler hat. Yeah,
stick it in the bowler hat, stick it in the pocket of their suit, and they get hungry.
and they go to a wedding or a funeral, and they can just reach in there and just grab a little
fizzy food.
Some fizzy food. I quite like it.
It's not bad.
Is this the kind of bark from a tree?
Perhaps.
It's got the. It feels like it might be. You know, like the wood of a tree that's been affected with woodworm.
Sure, and that's why it's full of holes.
It's got that, the
worms,
and why the
got
wood has
to
become
it.
spongy. I think what we're dealing with here is wood that is
It's
rotted.
bad wood.
Yeah,
That's kind of putting me off now, thinking that it's actually just been
Maybe it's rotten. Maybe you got a rotten set.
eaten away. Maybe it's not
listen.
meant to have the holes in,
Oh,
and it's got, and on transport, something's gotten to it.
guys, I done a little research here, reading the instructions, reading the directions on the packet here, and it says simply toast.
Oh, to the crumpets. To the crumpets.
to the
To the
crumpets.
crumpets.
Cheers.
Cheers.
For they're a jolly good fellow.
For their jolly good food.
For they're a jolly good fizzy food.
I like the fact that you have to, that is so English. You have to toast.
You have to do a
the
toast.
crumpets. You have to be
I
all
love-
like, oh, to the crumpets. It's so English, isn't it? If
I
only we-
love food with a story like that.
I love that. Fantastic. And what a lovely little story. And I love that
I
about
love
crazy
that.
British stuff.
Yeah.
It's all like these little magical stories where you just, they're so obsessed with their food that they're just toasting it just to the crumpet, to the crumpet. I love it. I love it.
to the crumpet.
To the crumpet.
Guys, this is too much fun.
British Empire. Listen, let's go to the votes. I gotta say, initially kind of gave me the heebie-jeebies, a little like a bad skin condition, but after gobbling a little bit, I love the whole toasting, all that kind of stuff, and it's not too bad. It's quite soft and quite salty.
Yeah.
So for me, it's got to be a 7 out of 10 for me on this one. Quite a high score.
Yeah, hey, listen, I wasn't sure myself. Like you say, it looks disgusting. It feels kind of bad. But as soon as you put it in the mouth, it's got the fizz. It's got the salt. It's got the softness. And to be honest, it has got the flavor. And it's like the first one we've done that you have to toast to.
That's new. That's
That's
novel.
a new thing. That's new. That's novel. That's novel. I'm going to give it 7.5 and a half.
Oh, that is a high score. Johnny, what's your score, brother?
Yeah, I think it tasted like shit and it made me feel like a douchebag for eating it. So 1 out of 10.
Oh, he didn't like it. He didn't like it.
Oh, well, each entitled to their own opinion, and I respect that about Johnny. I've always have.
Yeah.
Okay, well, here to you crazy Brits, we give you a toast.
To you and your
you
crumpets.
and your crumpets. We say tarar, thank you very much, and toodle pip.
Oh, tarar, thank you very much, and toodle pep.
See you.
See you. I love all that stuff you guys say.
I just can't wait for New Year, to be fair. Officially, New Year, new me. Sick of all this shit. It's just live, laugh, love from now on. It's just live, laugh, love from now on. It's just live, laugh, love from now on. Sending kisses, but Sharon pisses. It's just live, laugh, love from now on. It's just live, laugh, love from now on. It's just live, laugh, love from now on. Just me and the kids from now on. How she bought her youngest new PS5. I've never seen that snake work a day in her life. She thinks she's winning, thinks she's adders. Only game she's playing, snakes and ladders. Never really see a fella either. Love of her life, who she met in Ibiza. Seen him on Facebook though with that bird Sanita. He's breaking promises like rocks on Ravita. It's just live, laugh, love from now on. That's right. It's just live, laugh, love from now on. Just sick of it. It's just live, laugh, love from now on. Sending kisses, but Sharon disses. It's just live, laugh, love from now on. Walter Orthodox back. It's just live, laugh, love from now on. I'm not bothered. It's just live, laugh, love from now on. Just me and the kids from now on. I just feel sorry for kids this Christmas. Sat there eating takeaway, thinking Santa missed us. I'm sat at home rapping, giving my fingers blisters. Sharon spreading rumours, Chinese whispers. Faye told me what you put on Facebook. My kids don't have nits and they don't eat milk. Grab a mirror, love, and just take a look. See that unibrow, please give it a pluck. It's just live, laugh, love from now on. It is. It's just live, laugh, love from now on. New year, new me. It's just live, laugh, love from now on. Sending kisses, but Sharon disses. Nay, it's just live, laugh, love from now on. It's just live, laugh, love from now on. I'm not getting involved. It's just live, laugh, love from now on. Just me and the kids from now on, and that's it. New year, new me. I'm leaving everything behind, and it is just me and the kids. Merry Christmas. I'm sending hugs, and I'll DM you, love. Mwah.
Podcast looping nuts are we, making podcasts all for free. But if you'd like to help us too, then this is what you ought to do. On the website Patreon, followed by .com//
is the next bit.
They seldom differ, and that's it. Podcast looping nuts are we, making podcasts all for free. But if you'd like to help us too, then this is what you ought to do. Sign up to us and then pay us £1, £3, £5 or £10.
Bonus podcasts worth the fuss.
Appreciated by us.
Listening to Seldom Differ's Terrible Features with Matt Skillington, John Patrick and Ryan Howes. Intro and outro theme by Old. You can follow them at Old Music on Instagram. If you want to follow the boys at Seldom Differ, you can get them at Twitter at Seldom Differ, Instagram Seldom_Differ, and Facebook at Seldom Differ Comedy. You should also subscribe at Seldom Differ on YouTube. Thank you to Luke Collins at Appley Bridge Studio for his additional audio work. And thank you to all you Patreon subscribers. If you're interested in supporting us, then go to patreon.com/Seldom Differ. And there you can donate as little as £1 a month, that's 25p an episode, that's not too bad, to £3 plus a month, which will allow you access to all of our bonus material. Please do give us a 5-star rating and a review. We'd be unbelievably grateful. Thanks for listening.